Okay, are we good? Thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first meeting in Etobicoke for 2025. I'd like to just briefly introduce our panel. My name is Stan Kumorik. I'll be chairing today. On my far left, Natalia Popovic. On my near left, Laura Alderson. On my near right, Donald Taylor. On my far right, Bill Dalton. Okay. In accordance with sections 45 and 53 of the Planning Act 1990 as amended, this meeting of the Committee of Adjustment of the City of Toronto is called to order. The Committee of Adjustment considers applications for variances to the provisions of the zoning that apply to property, permission to extend or alter lawful non-conforming uses, and consents to sever property to create new lots. I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. We acknowledge the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Our hearing procedure today: the Committee of Adjustment public hearings are now conducted in a hybrid, in-person, and virtual format. Therefore, some applications and participants will make their submissions in person, while others will participate virtually by electronic means through WebEx and online digital platform. The meetings are also streamed on the City of Toronto Planning YouTube channel, and anyone wishing to view the hearing may watch on YouTube. Those who want to participate virtually and have registered in advance will be connected to their computer, tablet, smartphone, or telephone and have the option of participating by video or audio only. All virtual participants will automatically be muted on entry. When your item is called, you will be unmuted by the moderator, one person at a time. Those participating by video appearance will be temporarily upgraded to panelist when your item is being held. During this time, your camera will be enabled. You will only be visible during your 5-minute allotted speaking time. At all other times, your video will be disabled and you will be reinstated as an attendee. For both in-person and virtual participants, Committee of Adjustment staff will share presentations submitted in accordance with the written submission deadline. Those participating through WebEx are not allowed to use the share screen or any other panelist controls during their video appearance. Decisions of the committee. People attending in person today who want to receive a copy of the decision of the committee on the application must fill out a decision request card, and those participating virtually need to submit a written request for a decision by email. Please ensure that you include your name, address, and email address, as the Committee of Adjustment and the Toronto Local Appeal Body will be sending notifications and appeal updates by email. If you do not agree with the decision of the committee, you may be able to appeal the decision to the local appeal body or in some limited circumstances to the Ontario Land Tribunal. However, the provincial government amended the Planning Act and generally removed rights of third parties to appeal Committee of Adjustment decisions. Only applicants, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, specified persons, and public bodies are permitted to appeal decisions of the Committee of Adjustment. Appeal instructions are set out at the bottom of the decision of the committee. The procedure today: I will call each item in the order listed in the agenda. When making your submissions where an application is uncontested, the agent or applicant may proceed with their presentation. When the committee does not require a presentation, applicants are to advise the chair should they wish to speak to the committee. The committee may ask questions and or take the matter for decision. Each speaker, including the applicant agent, will be given a maximum of 5 minutes to address the committee. I will comment when you are nearing or at your 5-minute mark. Any presentation or other material you wish to submit to the committee must have been emailed in advance of the hearing. Staff and committee members cannot accept materials at the hearing. When addressing the committee, please clearly state your name and address. Please remember to confine your remarks to the matters outlined in the application. The applicant or agent will proceed first and will make a presentation to the committee on the application. Please note that the committee may not entertain revisions to the proposal at the hearing today. The committee may decide to defer the application if substantially revised to ensure the revised application is accurate and that all those entitled to notice of the application are informed of the changes. Then individuals either in support or opposition to the application will be invited to speak. Generally, we first call on speakers in the hearing room and then those participating through WebEx. Committee members may ask questions of each speaker after they have finished their presentation. When all speakers are finished, the applicant or agent has the opportunity to rebut, but only those issues that were raised by the speakers. This will mark the end of the discussion. The application will then be taken into committee for a decision. Okay, that's it for the opening remarks. Now we'll start with the first agenda item, which is the confirmation of the minutes of the last meeting. And this would be back to November, I'm assuming?
November 21st.
November 21st, thank you. Members, is there anyone to move a motion for that?
Mr. Chair, I move approval of the minutes of the meeting held on November 25th.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Laura. All in favor? Okay, the minutes are adopted. Sorry. We'll deal with deferral requests from the morning session before we get to the top of the agenda. So, Madam Secretary Treasurer, I believe the first item is an item for deferral anyway, so I guess we'll start with the top of the agenda in that sense. So this is 25 Vaudeville Drive, and the speaker is Gabe Ferrone.
So, Mr. Chairman, so we have Jelena Jenko, the owner, online right now.
Okay.
The agent is not present currently.
Thank you. So, Jelena, if you can just give us a reason for the deferral.
We're actually working with city planning and zoning.
Okay, so you need more time to process the application? To review? Hello?
Jelena, your mic seems to have disconnected.
Okay, the applicant is requesting a deferral to process the application further with planning. There is, I'm assuming, no one else to speak to this item?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So
We
let's
do.
just
Actually, we have a late edition. They are in chambers. Oh, sorry, in online. I will just connect to them for opposition. So I'll just connect to them right now. V. Keynes, you're online.
Hello?
Hi there. Hi there. If the applicant does want to request a deferral,
We need you to state your full name and address, please.
Yes, my full name is Van Norena. My address is 292 Valermo Drive.
Thank you. So yeah, the applicant is requesting a deferral. Just to get your opinion on that.
No objection to the deferral. It would be great to know what changes are proposed. We did submit a letter of objection, as did some other neighbors. And if they do need more time to figure this out, we don't have any issues with that.
Okay, thank you. There'll be a new, at the conclusion of that process, a new notice will be posted prior to the hearing, so you'll see what the changes are then.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Back to committee then. Looking for a motion to defer.
I'm just wondering if there's anyone in the room that came to speak to this item? No. So we've heard from everybody? I'll move deferral, Mr. Chair, to enable the applicant to consult with community planning, potentially resulting in some newer revised variances.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
I will second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, item 1 is deferred. Madam Secretary Treasurer, I believe item 6 is our next deferral request. So agent is on the line, I hope.
So
Louis?
for item number 2?
Number 6.
Number 6, so that would be Louis. Yes, he is online. I will unmute him. All right, Louis, go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Panel members and Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Yes, we are requesting a deferral. We actually increased one of the variances, which is the FSI from 0.52 to 0.59. Therefore, we needed a little bit more time for the notice to go out to neighbors, just so they're aware of the changes, you know, and make sure they have no objections. As of now, we do not have any objections. We do have letters of support, but just, you know, following the procedures of committee, we just decided, we were advised to defer our meeting.
Thank you. Is there anyone else to speak to this item? Online or in person? No?
There is no one currently here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're looking for a revision. Committee members?
Sure. I'll move that motion to allow the applicant to alter their application and change their notice.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
I will second that as well, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
thanks, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, the item is deferred. Okay, item 7, 5 Redcar Avenue. Ian Graham is the agent.
Yep, he's currently online. I will connect him right now. Okay, Ian, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Good
My
morning,
name is
sir.
Ian Graham. I'm with R.E. Millward and Associates, which are the applicant for this matter. The 5 Redcar is a new development of a school on the site, and originally was identified to have only one variance as it pertained to doing a garbage enclosure in the front yard. However, upon the review by the buildings department involving a PPS or what they call a ZAP now, they've identified an additional variance as it pertains to the fence that's being proposed to be at a height of 1.8 meters instead of 1.2, which is what the bylaw requires. And we wanted a higher fence because it's a child care facility that's going to be in that area. And this property is adjacent to Highway 427. So we feel a higher fence is required. So an additional variance has been discovered, and we need to defer so we can come back to you with those 2 variances and get the notices out accordingly.
Okay, thank you, sir. So it's another revised notice issue. Any other speakers for this item? I'm assuming not.
We do have 2, the owners, but they are not present currently, so they don't get to speak.
They don't get to speak anyway.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
thank you. Back to committee then for a motion.
I'm happy to make that motion, so the applicant has enough time to revise the application and the notice.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Is there a seconder?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Okay, that item is also deferred.
Thanks very much, folks.
Thank you. Madam Secretary Treasurer, I believe those were all the deferrals for the morning session.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. So we can go back to the beginning of the agenda now. So item 2 on the agenda, which is 1055 Kipling Avenue. This is an application to maintain the existing driveway and front yard soft landscaping deficiency. There are 3 variances being requested, and the speaker is Alex Bonkovich, sorry if I mispronounced that. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the...
Okay, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Alex Boyankiewicz, and I'm representing the minor variance for 1055 Kipling Avenue.
Yeah, I don't think we need a full presentation.
Yep.
But if you could remain where you are, and if there's any questions the committee may have for you, unless you want to do a brief overview,
Yeah, that's
or
fine.
maybe just explain how you wound up in this situation.
Yeah, so can we take a look at the site plan so I can explain maybe? So essentially we're looking, it was a single lane driveway, and now we're looking for the double wide driveway, to do the double wide driveway. We need the additional parking. Kipling is a very busy street. There is no parking on the Kipling. So there's other points I have prepared, but if I could maybe hear comments or.
I think you'll get questions. You won't get.
Yeah, questions. Yes.
Okay. If you're okay with that, then we'll proceed to questions.
Yep.
Okay. Panel members.
I have a question, but first of all, I have a comment. You said that the driveway is a double wide driveway, but in fact, there is space there for 3 cars.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not really concerned so much with the driveway, the asphalt driveway, as I am with the other paving stones that are in front of the house itself. The soft landscaping is an issue, and I'm just wondering, are those, I'm looking at paving stones here, are they permeable pavers or no?
So it's just interlocking, and it's not going to be served as parking. There's gonna be a curb that's going to differentiate between the parking and the interlocking, and that interlocking serves as a walkway to the porch and the stairs. It's
a very large walkway.
Yes.
Like it looks like there's space there for a car. And
So
I just want to know what the material is. You say it's interlocking. Does that mean that rainwater can get through the permeable the interlocking brick or no?
yes,
So rainwater can drain through.
yes.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? And there's no one else here to speak to this item, I'm assuming.
No, there's not.
Okay.
Just one more thing. There is another piece that is flanking the sidewalk that I don't really see the necessity for at all. Do you know what I'm talking about? So there's the
There's an L shape, and
It's an L shape.
Yeah.
And there's a piece of interlocking brick there that I don't see the need for at all. So is it possible to remove that and then restore the lawn at that juncture?
I think it's part of the design. It ties into the appeal, and everything is already
I understand
in
it's
place.
done. I
Yep.
understand that, but to me, it's an unnecessary part of the design.
Yep.
So I think that needs to be removed, frankly.
Okay.
do you know by any chance what percentage, I guess you wouldn't know what the square footage of that portion is.
I would guesstimate around 5%, maybe less.
Okay, so it wouldn't substantially change your variance number 1 then, but it would improve that variance.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I just think it sets a dangerous precedent for the street. You've got a lot of coverage there.
Yeah. I think it's also, to add to my point, it's a very busy street, and Kipling Station is right there.
I understand all of those things, but I think that L-shaped portion is unnecessary.
Okay.
Any other comments?
I'm just wondering how we would amend the variances to reflect the removal of that if we did, because we don't precisely know what the size of that L shape is. I think it's more than 5%. but I don't know.
Yeah, so you don't,
We don't know.
so if you want to amend variance 1, we wouldn't know what percentage to
Exactly.
apply to it. I'm not drawing.
Yeah.
The committee could always not be all that accurate, like leave the variance for the landscaping, but put a condition that the L-shaped portion be removed and reinstated with sod or landscaping.
Isn't part of that actually on the city boulevard?
Yes, it would.
A small piece of the lower part of the L is, but
Because
the main part next to the walkway leading to the stairs is all on there.
no, for sure, but the street right of way goes beyond the edge of the sidewalk.
Yeah, if you look at the survey, it's almost halfway through. So the lot line is halfway between the grassed area and the sidewalk.
So that portion would not factor into the coverage number either. So you can't just take, you know,
But it would still improve the situation.
no, understood, but I'm just saying it makes it even more difficult to calculate what the numbers would be. So we couldn't do it by number. We could do it if that's the route you want to go. Then, as the Secretary Treasurer has just stated, we would have to say that that portion would have to be removed.
I would like to just point out that there's mature planters surrounding the property. There's mature trees surrounding the property. You know, there's the grass that we put in there, and maybe the pictures don't do it justice, but I think there's the green space appeal and the front curb appeal is very good. And this was just part of the design. That little
Just wondering
strip.
what the purpose of that portion.
Is that an area that perhaps you place your waste bins for collection on?
Yes, yes, that could definitely be an area.
What's the purpose?
You'd have to use the sidewalk for that then.
Because there's no driveway there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is that something that you require to be able to turn your car around so you don't have to back out onto Kipling?
So yes, but also with the driveway, that's part of the reason why we did the driveway, is to have more space to maneuver onto the busy street, which is Kipling.
So how many vehicles are you typically parking out there?
So there's 2 vehicles that typically park there, and they're going to be parking on the asphalt portion. I know there's a picture where there's a vehicle parked on the interlocking, but that's not going to be the case.
Okay, but you could utilize that interlocking to do a multiple point turn so that you don't have to back out onto a busy street too, right?
Yes.
Because that's a concern along Kipling and Islington and some of these other streets as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no street parking, and
understood.
There's older members that live in the house, and they have already a trouble maneuvering, reversing onto there, so they need as much space as possible for them.
And you can't always back into the driveway either because of traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's kind of where we're at. I think. Do you want to? Let's take this into committee then. I think we can. If there's any more discussion or no. Yeah, I've already asked for additional speakers. Thank you.
Thanks.
Mr. Chair, I do have a comment. I appreciate the concerns with the busy street and backing in and so forth. However, in terms of a desirability issue, that reverse L shape, in my view, does not add to in fact, it detracts from the house. And thank you. If it were removed, replaced with landscaping, it would improve the landscaping aspect and the green aspect of the house. So in my view, an approval with the condition that that reverse L shape be replaced with something green, so anything, would be an improvement, and I would be in support of that kind of a condition.
Okay.
I've just gone up and down the block just to look at who else might have something similar. And while there are double driveways, I think you've exceeded that. So I would be inclined to agree with my colleague here that portion needs to be removed. So are we making a motion?
Well, that would be the next stage.
Could I just ask a question before we make a motion?
Mm-hmm.
I guess the question is to the Deputy Secretary Treasurer. Could we make a condition that approval, save and except for the L-shaped portion, and proportional changes to variances 1 and 2? Proportional?
We need to know it
We need
can't,
to
that's
know
too
what-
vague. We either need the numbers or just add the condition.
Just add the condition.
Given that no city department has submitted any comments, who would enforce that condition?
Probably MLS, but
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, that's good.
Yeah, the neighbor next door has different situation, but an opportunity to do a turnaround with a hammerhead because of that walkway as well. And there's also a hydro pole right between the two of them, so.
So are you advocating for?
Just making comments.
Okay.
If you feel you want to do a motion, please go ahead.
You want to go ahead?
Unless there's any, I'm assuming.
Is there anyone else that wants to comment? Okay. So I'll make a motion that the variances are approved, subject to the condition that the L shape, hammerhead, whatever you want to call it, is removed. So we don't have specific dimensions for that. So that's just the removal of that particular portion, the L-shaped portion is removed and restored with either sod, not artificial turf, with sod, or it could be just landscaping of some sort.
can I suggest the L-shaped portion of the front yard that is hardscaped along the north side of the walkway leading to the front steps shall be removed and reinstated with soft landscaping?
Sounds great. To the sidewalk.
Yeah, so that it aligns with the beginning of the walkway.
So that it aligns with the walkway, yeah.
I will second that motion, Mr. Chair, with that condition, as stated by Madam.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Popovic. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, item 3, number 7 Lakeshore Drive. This is an application to construct a 2-story rear addition, a 2nd-story addition above the existing dwelling, and a new deck in the rear yard. There are 4 variances being requested. Planning is requesting 3 conditions of approval in the event that we approve, and there is support from number 13 Lakeshore Drive. And the applicant is Marco Vieira. Marco, you're online.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, members of the committee. My name is Marco Vieira. I'm at 257 Dunraven Drive.
Okay, Marco, I don't think we need a full presentation, but if you could give us just a brief overview of the application.
Through you, Mr. Chair, the application before you is actually just a small bump out of approximately 1.5 meters to 2.87 meters to the southeast corner of the dwelling. But because the whole extent or footprint of the existing house is within the shoreline and within the hazard zone, TRCA basically takes the lot area or the portion of the lot area of a small section in the front as being the total lot area. That is the only reason why it appears that this house is much larger than the allowed, is essentially 4.25 square meters being added to the existing house with a new roof on it to create sort of the appearance of a two-story space in the back of the dwelling. And then there's a small stairs leading to a storage level within the attic. We have submitted and have been working with TRCA extensively for the last 2 years. We do now have a permit from TRCA, and this is just the final piece of the puzzle to get approval to build that small bump out.
Thank you. And you're aware of the 3 planning conditions, and do you have any issues with those?
No, we do not. We are okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else here to speak to 7 Lakeshore?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions from panel members? No? Okay, are we ready for a motion then?
Yeah, I'll move a motion for approval as I believe the application meets the 4 tests subject to the January 3rd, 2025 planning memo.
Okay,
3 conditions, right?
3 conditions, yeah. Okay, thank you, Bill.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Laura. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wonderful day.
Thank you, you too. Item 4, 83 Sabrina Drive. This is an application to permit the existing 2-story front and south side addition. There is 1 variance being requested, and that is for lot coverage. And we have agent online or in person?
In person.
Okay.
Yep, the homeowners here.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Mr. Chairman and everybody. My name is Amarjeet,
Okay.
and I'm from 83 Sabrina Drive. I'm a owner of the house.
You're the owner and the applicant. Excellent. Thank you. Again, can we just get a brief presentation of, you don't have to do a full, just a brief overview of what you're requesting?
Okay, my request is that because of the over square footage, the old garage, existing garage, the city asks to demolish. But there are 2 reasons that I want to keep that portion of the garage also. The one is very urgent. In the back of the garage, if you see the survey of 2020, in the back side of the garage and whole backside house is a big concrete, 5-inch concrete. And the floor of the garage is lower than the concrete. The concrete was done by the ex-owner, not by me. And the door is lifted up to protect from the water. And the water, rain or snow, goes through the both side work sites. But if I demolish that garage roof and the walls, that area will be ditch type because the floor of the garage is lower than the outside level. So there will be won't be any flow of water to, for the rain or for the snow, and this will damage the whole house. And my second reason is, when I plan to make the, to extend the
Okay,
garage,
sorry, can I just interrupt you? I'm just a little bit confused because your application is to permit an existing structure from staying, but you're doing an addition?
say again?
Sorry, so you're doing an addition
No, addition is done already.
is done already.
It's done already.
So was this done with or without a building permit?
Say again?
Was it done with a building permit? Did you get a building permit to do the addition?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The first permit I got on February 2020, and then I make some change. Then the second permit I got on July 2021.
okay, so I'm just trying to understand how you wound up getting here. Because if you were issued permits,
No, even the first permit which was issued to me from the city, it was that some portion of the existing old garage has to be demolished because of over square footage.
okay, and you're asking for that to remain.
And when Mr. Dick, who was the inspector signed for my project, he came, I showed him the situation that if I demolish this garage, this will be a ditch in the back side of the house. There is no flow of water.
Okay, I get that, okay, thank you. I'm just trying to understand I guess the chain of events that brought us here, Madam Secretary Treasurer? Because, okay, but the permit, then why were the permits issued? Right, like, it's backwards.
The permitted coverage was 33%.
Yeah, so why were the permits issued if she didn't comply? Is my question.
The permit was issued and she overbuilt.
Okay,
That's what I'm,
okay.
what I'm guessing.
Sir, my request, can I
Okay, so
request-
I get, no, it's okay. I just wanted to understand the sequence of events here, so that's fine. We understand your application. I just
And
need,
this is my second reason too, please. My plan was to make the extend the garage and to make the double garage. But when the locator came, when I was making the drawings, locator came, he said the gas pipe is passing through. So I had to move my wall of the second garage to inside.
okay, but you're not doing a second garage right now, so,
The second garage is done, sir.
okay.
The pictures.
Can I?
Okay,
I think, yeah, she got the
That is
perm-
the, sorry.
I think
That
she,
is the
I think she got the
south
permit.
elevation.
but there's no order to comply.
No, there's
No,
no order to.
there's nothing on file.
Yeah, okay. All right,
She built the addition above the garage.
I got it.
But I think she got the permit, the inspector came and found a variance,
Exactly.
and that's why
Okay,
she's here,
okay,
Exactly.
is my guess.
okay, that's all I was trying to figure out.
Sir, please, that is the portion, that is the south elevation of the house. That is the before existing garage. This garage is done now.
Okay.
It's complete
Everything-
now.
everything's
This portion is to be demolished. So I want to keep this portion. I have
That's
two
fine.
cars.
We don't have okay, that's fine. Thank you. Is there, if anyone else has any other questions, please go ahead.
So I have been struggling for 5 years. This is 2025. I started the plan in 2019. In 20, I got the first.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. We're good.
We're good.
Okay, I'm assuming there are no other speakers for this item? No.
Nope.
Okay, so let's take it into committee. Thank you, ma'am. You can take a seat.
So is it okay?
We're going to find out.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
I have 2 cars.
I get it. Okay, it's not the plans I was concerned about. I just wanted to understand the process. Okay, thanks.
So looking at the permit drawings, it looks like the existing garage that was attached was supposed to be removed. And
Okay.
just that front portion would remain, but I guess they decided to keep.
To keep it.
And build on
that
top
rear
of the garage.
portion.
Yeah.
The top doesn't matter because it's just a coverage variance.
Yeah.
But the fact that they kept the old attached garage, built a new
Increase the
attached
coverage,
in
yeah.
front,
I get it.
it's caused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, on that basis, I will move a variance or approval of this application as I believe it meets the 4 tests and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
I am very happy to second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Okay, you have unanimous approval. Thank you, ma'am. You're good. Yeah.
You're good.
Thank you very much. Because I had a high blood pressure, I'm 80-year-old.
Well, you did very.
You did very well. Thank you.
And when I had a high blood pressure, I cannot listen properly.
Okay.
That's why.
It's all good. Thank you. Okay, item 5, 11 Island View Boulevard. This is an application to legalize and maintain an existing rear yard deck. There's one variance being requested relating to the size of the platform. On this one, there is an order to comply, or was an order to comply, and TRCA has already provided approval. Danielle is the agent.
Yes, and I will connect right now.
Thank you.
Daniel speaking. Orsini, Cartwright Designs, 58 Rosamond Avenue, Toronto, Ontario.
Okay, good day, sir. Again, just a brief overview on how we wound up here in terms of process.
Yeah, not a problem. Just a rear yard wood deck, about 8.91 square meters, located at the back of the house. That's the only proposed work. Right now, there's an existing roof that's there, and all they're doing is just putting a wood deck below that. Because of that, we applied for building permit, and we got the zoning, I guess, comments back. One of the comments requested that, fortunately, they're classifying that as a platform, and underneath the deck is fortunately a height of 6 feet. And because of that, they classify that you cannot have that deck more than 4 square meters.
Understood.
Therefore,
got it.
Yeah, and that was it.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm assuming there's no other speakers on this item.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So we can take it into committee.
Mr. Chair, I find this application to be in keeping with 4 tests under the Planning Act, and I move approval without conditions.
Thank you.
I'm happy to second that and also to say what an amazing view you have from your backyard.
Thank you, Laura. All in favor? Unanimous approval. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Well, that's why they call it Island View Boulevard. I know. It really is an island view. Items 6 and 7 have been deferred, so we are on to item 8. And I have misplaced my forms.
And Mr. Chair, I think you wanted to deal with 8, 9, and
8, 9, and 10, if we could deal with those 3 together, if everyone's okay with that. Okay, Mr. Romano is the agent. Franco, are you there?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the panel. Happy New Year. Franco Romano.
Good morning. Happy
321 Lakeshore.
Happy New Year. And I negated to do a brief description, so please permit me to do that first. So this is an application at 621 the Queensway, 623 the Queensway, 623B the Queensway. 3 separate applications, but they are all for the same purpose, which is to permit a parking deficiency to accommodate an additional dwelling unit within the existing building, and 1 variance for each of the 3. Thank you, sir. I'll turn it back to you.
Welcome, no worries. So this is a mixed-use building. It's a 3-story building, and it contains 4 it's separated into 4 different ownerships. The westerly 3 ownerships they're all under the same owner, but they're separate parcels. They all contain rear yard parking, 2 parking spaces on private property. The proposal is to add 1 additional dwelling unit within each of those 3 buildings. It's all within the existing building envelope. There's no new floor area that's being proposed. The Queensway is an avenue, and it has a specific bylaw on it that relates back to the Etobicoke zoning code. And that is the reason why we're here for a variance. The city has updated its parking requirements, and in 2022 identified the subject lands in all of the Queensway within a parking zone B, which says that 0 parking spaces are required for residential. And as we know, within Toronto, they've updated their zoning bylaw to require that 0 parking spaces are required for residential apartments. So this is basically a technical variance that deals with the residential parking supply. There is parking on the property, and that deals with commercial and visitor parking, which can be shared. So there is an offset when the commercial is not being used. Obviously, the tenants can use and still utilize the parking in the back.
Yeah, because
So
there actually are 2 spots per unit at the back, and they're going to be maintained. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you.
So I would submit that the variance request is minor in nature, and there's no objections from any city department, including transportation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. And I'm assuming there are no other speakers on this item or any of these 3 items.
So we do have some area residents.
Okay.
However, they aren't online. We've emailed them and they haven't gotten back to us.
Oh. Okay, because I don't have a, oh, okay, I had 1 person. So no one, so when you did the mic check, no one was there?
Yeah, they're not there. And then
Okay,
we emailed them too, so they haven't responded.
So there's no one there? Thank you.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, there is 1 person that I don't have listed. I'm just going to unmute them, see what item.
Sure.
Perhaps it's this one. Hello, Mayor Dad. Can you just explain what item you're here for? I just don't have you registered. You're unmuted.
Hi, for 47 Burrows Avenue.
Okay, so
Okay.
not for this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, if we can take it to committee then, if there's any questions of the applicant or? No questions? Anyone's ready for a decision?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. Before I do, I just want to say that, you know, we're, as a city, as a province, as a country, always very supportive of adding housing units to the stock of available units. So I think this is very welcome in that respect. Also, this location is a wonderful location for new people to live because right across the street, all 7 of the basic food groups are available. At Mama Martino's and Tom's Dairy Free. So if you've never been to either of those places, please go. So I am very pleased to move approval of applications numbers 8, 9, and 10, all without conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Unanimous approval. Thank you, Mr. Romano.
Thank you kindly, appreciate it, and enjoy your day.
Thank you. Is anyone up for a break or should we continue on?
Do we need a break? Do we need a break?
No? Keep going? Okay.
Keep plowing through.
All right, our next item is number 11, which is 6 Landroy Crescent. This is an application to construct a 1-story addition along the east side of the existing dwelling. There are 2 variances being requested, and I'm gonna check my speakers list. Alicia?
Good morning, panel members. Yes.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Again, I don't think we need a full presentation, but if you can give us a brief overview and if there's any questions, we can ask them.
Certainly. My name is Alessia Sopelsa. I am the architect and applicant. My clients are simply looking to add a modest amount of area for their growing family. We are proposing a an addition at the front of the house so that they could maintain their backyard, which is used extensively, all the soft landscaping. So we are really eating into the existing driveway. The variance we need is just for lot coverage, a few percentages. We don't need any front yard setback variances or anything like that. We've spoken to the neighbors. They're all supportive. The second variance is simply to have the door match the existing house elevation, door elevation where it is. So pretty straightforward in our opinion, but happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And I'm assuming there are no other speakers on this item?
Correct, there's no one
Thank
else.
you. So any questions for the applicant? If none, then let's take it into committee.
I'm happy to make a motion if no one has any questions.
Okay, Laura?
This is a very straightforward application. I believe it meets the four tests under the Planning Act and move for approval with no conditions.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you, Elisa.
Thank you kindly. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, item 12, 6 Watt Avenue. This is an application to construct a second-story addition above the existing detached garage. The garage will be converted into a garden suite. There are 3 variances being requested. Planning is requesting a condition of approval in the event that we approve. Forestry is requesting condition 2. And Bruno Lopez is the agent. Online, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Bruno Lopes from MXL Engineering and Associates, located at 1649 Sinclair Avenue West.
Thank you, sir. And again, if you can just give us a brief overview on this one.
Yeah, this is a very straightforward application. So as planning report clearly stated, we try our best. We introduce the angular planes. A couple of these conditions are actually existing. So one is based on the existing walls of the garage that we just keep exact same location, which is extended to the second floor. Second variance regarding the landscaping actually noted we improved the existing conditions, so we still fall short because there is no other way that we could improve it anymore. And that's pretty much about it. So we try our best, and this is a very straightforward application.
Thank you. There are no other applicant or no other speakers, I'm assuming?
No other, yes.
Okay, perfect. Any questions from panel members? None? Let's take it into committee. Anyone ready?
Yeah, I'd like to move a motion for approval. I believe the application meets the 4 tests subject to the planning and forestry conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Seconder?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Unanimous approval. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, item 13, 22 SUNNYLEA Avenue West. This is a application to construct a 2-story rear addition and a new converted covered front porch. There are 3 variances being requested. Planning is requesting planning is requesting a condition of approval in the event that we approve. And forestry is requesting condition 2. There is 1 letter of support. And Mark Lilly?
Yes, hello.
Welcome.
My name is Mark Lilly, 322 Garden View Drive, and I'm the agent for the owners at 22 SUNNYLEA.
Okay. Again, I don't think we need a complete presentation. If you can just give us a brief overview.
Yeah, it's an existing 2-story house that we're doing a 2-story addition to the rear. We've got 3 variances. One is lot coverage, one is floor area, and the third one is the parking space in the front yard. Basically, the family is expanding and wanting to move towards the back of the house, and we're hoping that you will agree with us that our variances are minor. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers for this item?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any questions from panel members? No? I think we're good, sir.
Okay.
You can take a seat. We'll take it into committee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So with that, I believe the application meets the 4 tests, so I move a motion for approval subject to the forestry and planning conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Is there a seconder?
I'll second that motion.
Thanks, Ms. Alderson. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you. Okay, item 14, 5207 Dundas Street West. This is an application to permit design changes for the proposed daycare. There are 2 variances being requested. Planning has submitted a report basically saying they're okay. And Sean?
That's me.
Okay,
Thank you.
welcome.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. My name's Sean McGaffey.
Nice to see people in person again.
Yeah, get out of the office for a little bit. So, Sean McGaffey, Senior Associate, WND Associates, 47 Roselawn Avenue in Toronto. And here on behalf of Tricon and Kilmer Group, who are the proponents for 5207 Dundas Avenue West. It's part of the city's Housing Now program. So the building is under construction. It has 518 market rental units, 507 market rental units, and 218 affordable rental dwelling units. And really, we're here with 2 variances to the site-specific zoning bylaw. First one relates to the number of units within the podium piece that were required to have 18 square meters of individual private outdoor amenity space. That's now being converted for 5 of those units. That space is being converted to an outdoor amenity space for a daycare operator. And then the second variance is a reduction in 50 square meters to the non-residential floor space on the site, just to allow flexibility through the detailed design of that daycare space on the site. So
are those units going to wind up with no private space, amenity space?
No, they still will have some private amenity space at grade. The way it was functioning was there were townhouse dwelling units incorporated into the podium. They had rooftop patio elements. Okay. Those patios are now being converted into the outdoor amenity space for the daycare. There's a presentation submitted if you flip through that.
I do remember it now. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Happy to answer any questions.
Any other questions? No? Okay, we'll take it into committee. Thank you.
So with that, I think this is a good application, and with that, would move a motion for approval as it meets the 4 tests, and there are no conditions.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton.
I will second that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Popovic. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval. Thank you. Item 15.
We're just moving right along.
We are moving right along. I'm assuming we're not going to take a break then.
No break.
No.
We're just going to have a long lunch.
Well, that'll be the first break. So item 15 is 53 Ridgley Avenue. This is an application to construct a deck in the rear yard. There is 1 variance being requested. There are no comments from any city departments. Eddie Perez is the agent. And
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
committee
Eddie.
members. How are you? Good morning, committee members. This is Eddie Perez from 537 Rogers Road. As you noted, we're here for a deck with a 1 variance, which is very minor in nature. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Well, Eddie, given that we actually do have someone to speak in opposition, you may want to do a presentation for us.
Okay, we went before the committee about, it was around 2 years ago. We got a 2nd story approved and a deck at the rear. The deck that we proposed was a little bit smaller, and they increased the size of it. Due to the fact that it's more than 1.2 meters above grade, that's what's kicking in this variance. We're slightly over at 1.62 meters above grade at the back. If you put the side elevation at the front, we're okay, but the back, the lot drops down. So that's what kicked in the variances. Because generally you're allowed a deck that's 5% of the lot, and we're way less than 5% of the lot. So I feel that this deck is very minor in nature, and I'll be happy to hear what the neighbor has to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, is there George online?
Yes, I will connect them right now.
Good morning,
Good morning.
committee. Good morning. Okay, so I'm just gonna point out a couple things.
Okay, can we just get your
where this-
name and address?
Well, yes, sorry. Yes, it's George Criticos, and I'm calling from 55 Ringley Avenue, so I am the neighbor.
Okay, thank you.
So the one thing that's not been added to this variance is that the deck, the original variance stated that they could be 1.12 meters from the property line. The deck is currently 0.9 and 0.88. So they're already 30 centimeters past the variance. So this isn't a proposal. They've already built this deck, and it's been built for over 2 summers now. My concerns with this proposal is that currently the deck is open and we have no privacy now. They look into our backyard. So the deck is so high that it looks into our backyard. In addition, I just had a question for the committee, is if you were to look at the plans, you'll see that our garage is like 1.5 meters away from the deck, and they barbecue on the deck. So what are the fire code variances to be so close to the garage? Because that's in the plan. So I was just curious, because again, the variance should be 1.2 meters from the property line, and currently they're 0.88 meters from the property line. So that was missed on this application.
Okay, so you're saying there's a missing variance on this application?
That is correct.
Okay. Are you
And
requesting?
the deck is not, yeah, and the deck is not proposed. It has been built for over 2 summers now. So
Okay,
they went along without building without permit.
okay, we can address that as well. What about your privacy issue? Are you requesting any kind of privacy screening?
Yes, I am requesting that as well, because currently they can look into both of our bedrooms. So they are looking down into our house currently. So they can have anyone there looking into our bedroom. So we can't even walk normally in our bedrooms because their patio is wide open and they can look at us.
Okay, there's a patio and there's a deck. So, but your issue is with the deck, correct?
Oh, the deck, yes, the deck. The deck itself is wide open that they can veer right into our property and into our home.
Okay, and
Into our
I'm
bedroom.
trying to understand your concern with the barbecue, because is the barbecue on the deck or on the patio?
It's on the deck. It is in the photo, actually. If you were to look at the photo currently that they
Okay, I'm
supplied,
looking at the
you
site.
will see.
I was looking at the
Yeah.
site plan, and I mean, the deck is showing us 3 meters away from the property line. Is that not correct?
That is not correct. That is a false documentation that they provided you.
Unless I'm looking at the survey, perhaps. Maybe that's my problem.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying the setback is less than the 1.12, which is noted on the site plan. Where are you getting your dimension from? Because
If you, I did a survey myself, but if you were to look at the survey they submitted
Yeah.
in the drawings,
Yep.
where it shows that the properties, like the stucco is 0.82 from the property line, and you look at the line of the actual deck from the survey, you'll see within centimeters. It was spotted by I did call the city to issue a concern about this, and they acknowledged that they do not meet that variance. And again, if you look at the barbecue, you can see in that photo, you can see the barbecue right there.
Yeah, it's hard to read the survey because when you go really big on it, it just
It blurs out.
over-pixelate. It's
Yeah.
not legible.
Yeah, but it is 0.88.
So it's
away from
0.88
the-
versus 1.12.
That's correct.
I think I saw.
Noted. Thank you.
What was the
You
previous?
know, I have other concerns too. Well, you can even see the side pipe, how they have it pointing their water. All their water is draining into our house. I know this is not the committee's problem, and I have to request other issues in that matter, but
Okay,
they're flooding our
let's
backyard.
get Eddie to address the issues that you've raised.
Yep.
Eddie?
Yeah, hi again. As for the side yard setback, we'll put it back in for permits, and if it's necessary, we'll we'll have to make the change, and they can always cut it back to 1.2 meters. If it's not the case as being to 1.2 right now, but I'll verify that 100%, and then we'll make it comply so that's the 1.2 meters. Also, they did have permits for it. They just had permits to build a smaller, but when they saw that it didn't fit barbecue or anything on it, they just expanded it a little bit. So it's not like they did it without permits. They thought they wouldn't have needed to make a little bit bigger. So, but in this case, they did, because it kicked in a variance, which they thought it wouldn't have. So it's not like they did it intentionally. It was done unintentionally. And we can put privacy fencing on the whole thing. As you can see, they put privacy fencing
There's
on
a
part
portion of it, yeah.
because the garage is there, and it's not infringing on. But if the neighbor wants it on the whole thing, we can do it on the whole side. That's
Okay.
not a problem.
Eddie, let's just come back to the site plan. So what you're saying is it wasn't built as per the site plan then?
Well, it's hard to see in the picture, and I can go verify on site. It's got a cantilever, so it's very easy to cut it back. It's not a big deal to cut it back.
Yeah, okay, but like
So we
on
can
the,
make it-
on the
we
site
can
plan,
make-
on the site plan, the deck does not protrude, is not equidistant to the side of the house. It's set back from the house. But on the photo,
Yeah, that's correct.
it looks like it's set out from the house. So that site plan is
Not
not
out from
correct.
Well, it's in line with the house. It's in a little bit.
If you look at where the privacy screen, it's not at the corner of the house on the photo. If we can show that on the screen. But there is a previous decision that permitted a side yard setback of 1.12 for the rear deck.
Okay.
Well, it's in-
Actually,
it's jogged
it's
in
hard to
right
tell
there.
from that photo where it actually relates to the wall.
Where does that go?
We'll verify the 1.12 meters, and we'll make sure that that's what we have. That's not an issue. And like I said, we'll provide the complete privacy fence on that site.
Yeah,
And if you look at the site plan, the deck's directly where the garage is. So it's not even looking onto the backyard, it's looking onto a garage.
Yeah, but it's almost over, it's almost over the height of the main wall of the garage. Like if you're standing on that deck, you're looking over top of the garage.
Not really, it's because it's only 1.62 meters above.
Again,
Not it.
hard to tell from the photo, but
It was approved at 1.12.
yeah.
The neighbor is saying it's less.
And I approved it.
Okay, it's your fault.
My fault.
It doesn't comply with the 1.12 at the minute, at least according to the neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we leave this now?
So the applicant has acknowledged that they will comply with that side yard setback, and if they do need another variance, then they'll have to reapply, pay again, and go through the whole process. But you've asked him, he said they'll comply with the previous
Okay.
decision.
That's 3 feet, 8.094 inches. It's almost 4 feet. Hard to tell from the photograph.
Okay.
It makes sense.
I guess the other issue is whether you want to impose the privacy fence all the way across, which the agent is saying they're okay with.
And how is the speaker with that condition?
Eddie says he's fine with that. Right, Mr.
We're
Perez?
okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're okay with the complete privacy screen.
I'm talking about the neighbor.
We already have a portion, we'll add another portion. That's
Do you want to
fine.
bring back the neighbor, Laura? Is that?
Yeah, I want to see if that mitigates it enough so that the distance is not so much an issue.
Okay. So, George?
Yes, so I'm going to go back to where they say that if you're on the deck, you are looking on top of our garage.
Yeah.
Like if they're standing on top, they do see the garage. They're above the garage level, so you can't see the
I'm
photo.
not arguing that. That's
And
the point I was making
No,
as well. So our question to you is, are you okay if they do if they extend the privacy screen to the end of the deck?
yeah, and cut back and push back to the variance of the 1.12.
Well, that he's already said that
He's prepared to do that.
he's prepared to do that if he's
Yeah.
over.
Oh.
He's questioning your measurement, whether it's correct or not.
By all means, you can, again. So are you asking? Do I do want the privacy fence 100%. I want
That's
to push back
what
to
I'm
the
asking
1.2.
you.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
helps me.
yeah, I agree to that. Yes.
And just as a footnote, again,
so-
not related, but you know, if you look at the water issue, you've got a downspout that's not connected to your garage as well at the back. But again, sidebar.
And just, sorry, there's not supposed to be back and forth. The applicant,
I know,
the
I know.
neighbors already had a chance to speak,
Yeah.
but for clarity,
Yeah.
the fence is not the property line. The fence is inside the applicant's line, so that is not what should be used to measure the setback.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just confirm the setback is based off the property line, not from
Not
the
off
fence.
the
If it
fence.
was the fence, it
Sorry,
would be
we're not
closer.
asking
Yeah,
you
it
any
would be
questions.
closer.
You can't speak
Okay,
unless
sorry.
the members are
Okay,
asking you
thank you.
questions.
Sorry, we just wanted to come back to you for that one question with regard to the privacy fence, but okay. Back to committee. Are we, do we have enough information to go forward with this? Okay.
Bill, do you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, sure. So based on all of the above, I'll move a motion for approval. Given that there are no conditions, I'd like to impose the condition that the privacy screen be extended the full length of the deck.
Which side is that? East, west,
Well,
north?
that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
That is the north, south. I believe it's the east.
Let me go to the site plan to figure that out.
The site plan has a north arrow, and the north is going towards the front of the house. Sorry, west. Sorry, yeah. Here,
So it'll be the west side, yeah.
I'll correct that. That is the west side. Thank you.
Okay.
Talk about measuring and distance.
Nope.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you, Laura. All in favor? Okay, unanimous approval with, no? You dissent, okay. So passes on a 4-1. Okay, sorry, just wanted to make some notes. Okay, thank you, Mr. Perez. Item 16, our last item for this morning. 47 Burrowes Avenue. This is an application to construct a 2-story front addition and a 2nd-story addition above the existing dwelling. There are 2 variances being requested. Forestry is requesting condition 2 in the event of approval. Our agent is online, Christina.
Good morning, panel members.
Good morning. Could we just get your name and address for our record?
Yes. My name is Christina Trenti of 188 Alfred Avenue.
Thank you. I don't think we need a full presentation, but if you can give us a bit of an overview.
Sure. So this is, as you mentioned, a renovation of the first floor of the existing house, 50% of the existing walls remaining, with a garage extension and 2nd floor addition. So the intent behind the design is to bring this 60-year-old house up to today's standards in terms of higher number of bedrooms, ceiling height, 2-car garage. So all of the standard amenities of a contemporary house, very similar and comparable to the ones built on the street currently. So with the 2 variances, the intent was not to go far away from what's very typical. There's multiple precedents on the street for the variances that we're asking. So the 2 variances, the first one being the floor space index. It is the maximum is 0.5 times the area of the lot, and we are asking for 0.61 times the area of the lot. That difference is about 50 square meters, which actually about equals the garage extension. So this is not a large deviation. And in addition, the design, if we took a look at the plans, it's not excessive at all. Very typical first floor, just enough bedrooms for a family on the proposed second floor. And in addition, that FSI of 0.61 is very typical on the street. In fact, our next door neighbors, so to the left and to the right, 45 and 49 boroughs, have 0.61 and 0.68 even. So we thought that this would be an appropriate increase, nothing excessive. The second variance is just the main
The
walls.
second variance is
the
very
permitted is-
very minor. I don't think we need an explanation on that one.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Thank you. There are no other speakers on this item?
So there was one late addition.
Oh, okay.
I will just connect them now to see.
I'm sorry, I'm the owner of the property.
Okay.
Okay, so so only one person's allowed to speak on behalf, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you since your agent went and spoke.
Okay, thank you. We'll take it into committee unless there's any questions for the applicant.
No.
No? Okay.
Just a comment. Thank you for the FSI comparables. It was good to know.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions, does anyone have any questions? If not, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Okay.
I believe this application meets the 4 tests. Certainly it's desirable, and I move for approval with urban forestry condition number 2.
Thank you, Ms. Alderson. Seconder?
I'll second that.
Mr. Dalton, all in favor? Unanimous approval. Thank you. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you so much.
And that concludes our morning session. Wow. Never before.